Oh boy. Watching Mira's backstory actually made me cry, and Jenny Tartakovsky does such an excellent job with character building, with minimal dialogue. Now, I think that they are speaking Arabic in this clip, or, you know, these are like the ancient Arabic people, but it made me want to know more about her life, just how Jenny's able to make characters and make you love them and make you understand them is just so beautiful. It really is a gift, and because we have fallen in love with Mira, hearing her get hurt or in pain or sad, it made me cry because of how much I love the character. Like, Spear is one thing, I don't want anything to happen to Spear, but Mira is so kind, and I know that Spear loves her, and we love her. She's her own character. She's a strong but yet sensitive and sweet and caring character. Seeing her life be ripped away from her, it's really freaking hard to watch. I don't cry very often when I see characters get mistreated on screen because I'm like, oh, whatever. But that's because even in Hollywood and mainstream media, they don't do a lot of making you care about characters as often as they once did. Now it's all about how the character looks, or, you know, the nepotism, just getting someone for a role that they're not really qualified for. So you have people who are in roles that you don't care what happens to them, but I actually care what happens to Mira. Primal is, for me, 200% times better. I know it makes no sense, but it is so much better than almost anything I've seen in the past, like, 4 years.
Mira.
So we get a flashback as Spear is trying to comfort her, but he noticed he doesn't touch her. He just lets her do her thing. You know, maybe in his culture, you know, if someone's crying, you know, he wants to ask why they're crying first. And he doesn't feel like he needs to hug her because he doesn't know exactly what's going on, but I think he starts to put it together.
ماذا تفعل؟ اتركني أذهب.
I don't know exactly what Mira said there. Just looking at her body language, she's either saying, hey, somebody will see, you know, or because the only reason you'd be upset about somebody picking you up, your boyfriend picking you up, is if your parents don't know you're dating, you know? But then she sees her friend and her boyfriend run past and she's like, oh, okay. So she feels good enough, like, let's do this. So, unless someone can translate.
تفعل اتركني أذهب.
But it's so cute to hear Mira laughing and having fun with the love of her life. It is so sweet. We hear the music, you know, probably their cultural music in the background. Her boyfriend is so loving, but then before they can even enjoy themselves, they see her friend and her boyfriend on the shore faced with this huge Viking dude.
Right.
Now, I don't know if I don't think this guy is the chieftain, because I think the guy that we're following is on a completely different boat with his son. I could be wrong though, but when you see them actually come in, they didn't just enslave these people, they straight up killed them. Like, the guy was only standing in front of his girl and he tried to protect her. She's running away and you freaking kill her. Like, I mean, he just threw an axe in her shoulder, but I doubt she's gonna be taken as a slave with that huge wound. She wouldn't last. And it's one thing to, like, capture people, that's bad enough. That's horrible, because now you're treating them like property, like they're not even human. But to just go there and kill them and they haven't done anything to just snuff out their life, now there's no hope for them at all. There's not even any hope of escape or anything. You just flat out end their lives. That's disgusting. Of course. course, Mira screams her heart out when her boyfriend tries to protect her. And you can tell how built the Vikings are because the guy he's probably younger than her or younger, I don't know, but he tries to punch this guy and it's like he didn't do anything. And his throat is just slit like he means nothing. We see them take her onto the boat and brand her as she cries out in pain. Her life from this point on has just been so filled with tragedy and chaos and pain, and she hasn't had a break. She just barely got her freedom before they took her back, and then she's sold into slavery again, caught by the Egyptians. Like, this girl has not caught a break, and Fang and Spear haven't caught a break either. It's just a tragedy. While we like seeing these characters on screen, it's such a tragedy because we get entertainment wondering what's going to happen next, and that's dependent upon them suffering. So Mira kicks one of these Viking dudes, and turns out to be the dude with the bear that Spear was trying to question. At least I think that's him. And he's squeezing the shit out of Mira's neck. She can't even get to mourn her boyfriend. It's just horrible. It's freaking horrible. Seeing her friends killed in front of her, seeing her boyfriend killed in front of her. Or maybe those were her parents. I'm not sure. She was saying Homara, and I looked that up in Arabic, and it's the word for donkey. So I'm like, I don't think that's what that person's name is.
What's so funny?
And I don't think that's the word for mom. I don't know. If anyone can speak ancient Arabic or Arabic, let me know, because people say that's what they're speaking. There's barely any dialogue, so when we do get dialogue, it'd be nice to understand what she's saying. Or I don't know, maybe we don't have to. I mean, we don't necessarily have to understand what Spear's saying, and we know exactly what he's saying when he talks. He just uses more body expressions and grunts, and that's technically his language. He comes from a simpler time where he's like, we don't need words. It's all just different dialects. Anyway, it was nice to see Mira's backstory, and that's all we needed to see for now to understand why she's so emotional. I mean, the girl hasn't really gotten a good chance to cry or mourn her family or her people until just now. I just want to protect her. I want her to be happy. Seeing her happy made me laugh, and then seeing all that ripped from her made me cry with her, like literally cry. Anyway, so far the show has not failed us yet, guys. Everything that Jendi has put out has been top tier, god tier content. Please protect this man, because this story, if this came out of him, oh my god, I want it to be a forever flowing well. He clearly put his blood, sweat, and tears into this. He clearly has a lot of passion for this. He is excellent at telling stories, at helping us to understand characters. He tells every point of the story. He told the Vikings' point of view, which was the other Viking that we saw. And while we are able to feel for the Viking, having lost his family, seeing what his people have done, you can understand why Mira and Spear would want to obliterate every single one of them. And that while it is horrible seeing women and children get slaughtered, it is indeed a consequence and a spoke in the cause and effect wheel that the Vikings or the slavers started when they wrought this upon their people. And it's the viciousness in which they do it too. It's not even like, okay, we're just gonna catch a bunch of people. All right, come here. We're just gonna whatever. And if you fight, we beat you. Like, just no, let's just kill them. Just slice their necks open, and the looks on their faces, like they're predatory. It's not even like they're just doing a job or catching chickens so you can pluck their feathers. Why would you pluck a chicken's feathers? I don't know. But they just look so hateful. And they're bullies. They're bullies is basically what it is. It's like you want to fight back a bully after they've been doing that to you, and they get more mad because you're fighting them back. That happened to me in junior high. There was this tall girl, some black girl. She was like 6 feet tall in junior high school. I don't want to say her name because she's not like that now, but I was a super nerd, and we were on the bus, and she was with her friends, and people used to pick on me all the time, and she threw a bottle at me and my friend. We were sitting down, and they were at the way back of the bus. This was in Brooklyn. This was before I muscled out and got my shit together and was like, enough is enough. I'm gonna fuck anybody up who tries to harass me or hurt my friends. This is when I was still like nerdy nerd. So I was so angry, so I took the bottle up and I had it over my head, and I was gonna throw it back at her, and she and her friends were laughing because it was funny, you know. And this bitch got up like a fucking Hercules, Conan the Barbarian bitch, and she was like, throw it, bitch! I dare you! Throw it, bitch! And my dumbass just smiled and sat back down because I'm 5'3". I was like 5'2" at the time. And this dinosaur Godzilla bitch would freaking rock my ass. And I understood that. And her friends would probably jump me. So me and my friend just kept quiet, whatever. And I think it was after that day, I was like, when I went home, because I'm an INFP, we process things way later. and you know how you fantasize about going back and beating the person's ass in your head? You would never say it to them in real life, but in your mirror, you're like, what, bitch? What? That was my dumb ass. But I decided after that day, you know what? I've been bullied my whole life. I am done. I am done, and if I get beat the fuck up, I get beat the fuck up. Because you cannot survive where I went to school in Brooklyn. Lived in a nice neighborhood, but where I went to school, there were some ratchet ass people. So I had to become like that to survive. I couldn't have that little smiley cute face that I naturally wear because that's a recipe for people attacking you. And I was prepared to fight to the death. And it's so funny, after I decided to do that, speak up for myself, stop being shy, lower my voice because I had a very, very squeaky voice, people respected me more. One of those people being the big 6-foot woman. She actually was nice to me and I wasn't super nice to her, but her making an effort to have civil conversation with me, I think that was her way of apologizing or trying to be nice. I wasn't having it because I remember that shit. I remember how you treated me. I'll be cordial with you, but I'm not gonna kiki with you. Anyway, it helped that she matured, and it also helped that I wore more tightly fitting clothes so my abs were poking out through the freaking wife beaters. I had to kind of blend in to survive. Coming from my country, this is a complete culture shock because we don't do shit like that. The only reason people in my country would beat somebody up is if you mess with their family. If you mess with their family, they're getting all their brothers and sisters to come beat you up. If you talk shit, they will come and confront you. They don't necessarily will beat you up for it. They'll be like, you want to fight? You want to fight? You want to throw? Let's go. But they won't straight go jump you. That's not something we do. People usually just fight, but they usually just talk it out because we grew up with manners. We don't just go around bullying people. And the thing is, in my country, at least where I lived, if someone catches you doing that shit, the bus driver catches you doing that shit, he's pulling over the bus and beating everybody's ass. And we respected our elders. I don't know how it's like now, but that would not have fly. Like, we were the only people on the bus. Me, John, and the bully bitch and her friends. The bus driver knew what was going on, but in Brooklyn, everybody minds their own business. Kids getting bullied or picked on, mind your own business. Doesn't matter, because there's some crazy ass kids that will go and actually hurt the bus drivers and stab them. Like, there's been stories about that. I think the difference with my story in a situation like what happens with Mira and most others who are conquered by people is that one person tips the scale a whole lot more. These Vikings are much physically stronger and they can just take to the ocean whenever they need to. The only thing left to do is to fight to escape, which is what Mira did. And then these assholes went back to the shore to catch her. Like, that's the thing that really upset me. She got away and it's like, okay, what, you could get others. I mean, it's wrong, but you're gonna go off course all the way to the island just to get her back? Like, what are you doing? One slave escapes. One. What the hell? They also must have had a bigger ship nearby or a much bigger boat, or maybe not. Maybe they just go into the neighboring areas. But from the shots that we see of them in this smallish boat, it is only Mira and one other person. You mean to tell me you went there to take her and one other dude, or I think that one's a girl too. Just looking at the wear, she has the same thing on as Mira. So I think it's another female, but really? Those are the only you took? And let's just say you just wanted the females. There were a whole lot females there. Maybe they just specified the light-skinned ones because the dark-skinned ones, they seem to not want them. They straight up killed one of them. And I think her friend was darker than her, so maybe it's a thing of, hey, let's take these ones specifically because if we sell them, these people want ones that look like this and just kill off all the rest. Like, dude, you could have just taken her and left everybody. You could have left so easily on your boat, but you decide to kill them all. I think, though, when they saw the people with fire and stuff, I thought at first those were other Vikings, but I think those were the village people. There might be a lot more to this backstory that we're not seeing. At the time of this video, I had only seen the clip version that was a promo for an advertisement for the next episode, kind of like a trailer. But it seems like such a waste to go through all of that just to take home 2 people. It's very weird. Like, you're doing the most and it doesn't even make sense. Anyways, what did you guys think about the sneak peek into Mira's backstory? I can't even blame her because she took the axe and she only had enough time to hit her chain and bounce. She left the other girl there. She was like, I'm sorry, but fuck you. I'm getting off this boat. She didn't even free the other girl. But you know, I can't blame her. She didn't have time. She was like, all you're thinking in that position is you're freaking scared. You're scared and you only have a split second to make a decision. The minute that axe goes down, you could see it was embedded in the boat as well. She couldn't just pull it back out very easily. She only had enough time to free herself and jump. I can't even blame her for that. She's terrified. But I know the other girl that was in the boat is like, really, bitch? I know when they caught Mira again. Maybe the other girl was already with other people at the time. They had probably brought her back. But I know when they caught Mira, which makes no sense. They would have caught her before they went back home, because for them to go back home and then come back, like, that doesn't make any sense. They would have gone after her. But I know when Mira saw the other girl would have been like, you thought you were going somewhere. Left me, your dumbass. That's why you got brought back here. Well, we know in that situation, the girl probably would have done the same thing. Maybe not. I don't know. It was just hilarious. Some little light humor. But anyways, thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.